Senate South East Caucus has called on President Bola Tinubu to immortalize achievements and lifetime of the chairman, defunct National Electoral Commission, InEC, late Professor Humphrey Nwosu. Now, of course, the appeal followed a failed motion raised on Wednesday to immortalize Professor Nwosu, who conducted the annulled June 12, 1992 elections during the military era. After a first debate, some of the senators were of the opinion that late Professor Nwosu failed to declare the winners of the June 12, 1992 elections in his entire lifetime. Hence, he did not observe or deserve national honor.
Were really in pain because nobody is able to quote where Professor Nwosu announced the results. It is his failure to announce the result, whether under threat or other whatever forces that prevented him from so doing, that Nigerians were unable to say that he was declared the winner. In fact, I was active in that struggle. When we met with the late General Sani Abacha, he said the reason he decided to order the detention of MKO Abiola was that MKO Abiola proclaimed himself as the winner of the election and therefore as president. It was on that basis Abiola was arrested and he died in detention. If Professor Nwosu had the courage, I emphasize courage as is being suggested here, to announce the winner and damn the consequences. After all, he who is not ready to die for something will end up dying for nothing. We cannot distort history in this Senate. We must be seen to have sentiments that reflect the average feeling of the average Nigerian. President Nwosu, when it mattered most, his courage failed him. So Humphrey Nwosu, with due respect to him, because he's now late, does not deserve to be immortalized as one of the very few Nigerians that have done the right thing. And I want to plead with my colleague. As I've said, I'm not speaking along the ethnicity line, along the party line, but I'm speaking as Nigeria. We witness the horrific moment. Thank you. Of Professor Humphrey Nwosu to carry out his assignment at the most critical hour. I don't know what we are talking about. I wish Professor Nwosu a journey mercy to the external world where he will rest in perfect peace. But this Senate should quickly run away from resolving converging complexities within the historical context of the Nigeria as a nation. Finally, Mr. President, I urge you, because history will be here today, and you are the one presiding. And Nigeria will ask you, is it true within your conscience that we should be naming a whole InEC, not even national honor post-mortem? We should read the whole InEC after one of his chairman who annoyed the election of June 12, who couldn't even come up with a result. That even people from Southwest who were accomplices in the June 12 saga, they will not be forgiven tomorrow. If any of them was brought here, I will speak against him. Therefore, this debate is unnecessary. This debate is trying to rewrite history, and we are sending to the people, to the younger people, that you can be celebrated if your courage failed you. You can be celebrated if you do common things uncommonly bad. And we know our president now. He was a factor, and he was part of those that struggled for the actualization of June 12. He worked hard for it. He worked hard for it. President Obasanjo was there as president for 8 years. He did not name anything after Nwosu. Nothing was mentioned about him. Even Yar'Adua was there. President Goodluck Jonathan was there. After Goodluck Jonathan, Buhari was there for 8 years. And now that Humphrey Nwosu is gone, you want President Tinubu to name structures after Nwosu? It will not happen. It will not happen. Tinubu will not do that. So we don't need to force him to do anything like that.
However, other senators who spoke in favor of the motion maintained that the chairman of the defunct InEC did courageously in conducting the most credible elections in the history of Nigeria. They posited that if the June 12 elections did not hold even against all odds, there will not be a result to clamor for.
The struggle to revalidate that June 12 presidential election took a huge toll on Nigeria, including loss of lives. But now we have come back as a country to acknowledge that that election was the freest and ever conducted. And the president, Humphrey Nwosu, who was never returned, has been recognized as the winner of the election by the government of Nigeria. Thank you very much. Decorated with the highest honor, GCFR. Whereas the man who conducted the election has been left. The time is over.
At the end of the argument, the prayers were put to voice vote by the Deputy Senate President, Senator Barrow Jibril, as the first two prayers were not supported by the majority. A 1-minute silence was also observed to honor the former InEC Chairman.
To posthumously honor him with national honors. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. No. We don't have it. Extend condolences to his family and recognize their sacrifice in support of his work towards a better Nigeria. Those in favor of this prayer, say aye. Those against say no. No. The ayes have it. 1 minute silence, please. May the soul of Professor Humphrey Nwosu rest in perfect peace. Amen.
Now, after the debate, South East Caucus of the Senate addressed newsmen appealing to Mr. President to honor late Professor Humphrey Nwosu, who they said laid a good foundation for the present-day democracy in Nigeria. They expressed their belief that as a committed Democrat, President Bola Tinubu will bestow a national honor upon the late Professor Humphrey Nwosu and rename the InEC headquarters in his honor, recognizing his pivotal contributions to Nigeria's democracy.
We are still looking forward to the Tinubu government. If you recall, Tinubu was seen and has always been seen as a June 12 warrior. And therefore, all the elements that make up June 12, including the conduct of the election. And like we said, if there was no election, there would have been no June 12. So we can also use this opportunity that we're here addressing you to appeal to the government of President Bola Tinubu to honor the man who made sure that that election held, despite that it was done and put elections in the consciousness of Nigerians, because that election was what led everybody else to now be doing subsequent elections. Thank you.
The late InEC chairman will be laid to rest tomorrow in his hometown in Anambra State.